Hey guys, welcome back to the Pulling Curls podcast. Today on episode 128, we are talking about how your kids, when they're little, aren't the same person that they're going to be when they grow up. So let's untangle it. I'm Hillary Erickson, the curly head behind the Pulling Curls podcast, where we untangle pregnancy, parenting, home, and even travel. We know there's no right answer for every family, but hopefully we can spark some ideas that will work for yours. Life's tangled, just like my hair. Okay, guys, before we get started, remember you can always subscribe. A lot of people come and see this on my blog or other websites and they forget to subscribe. So jump into your favorite podcast player, subscribe, and extra credit if you leave a review. And who doesn't want extra credit? Okay, today's guest knows me better than probably anyone else in the world. I lived inside of her 9 months, and then I lived in her house for 18 years. And yeah, I want to introduce my guest, my mom, Carolyn Pope. Are you overwhelmed by all there is to do around your house? As a new mom, I felt overwhelmed at every turn. Fortunately, I turned to systems to make a change. Whether it's mornings, dinner time, or even just to climb out of a pile of kids' clothes, my course Family Routines can save you. I hold your hand as we smooth out these rough patches, making every day easier so we can more easily handle when your preschooler tells you they can use their urine like a lightsaber. Parenting is always going to be a wild ride. Routines are just your seatbelt, and they can support you. Use coupon code UNTANGLED to save 15% at checkout. Link in the show notes. Hey, Mom. Welcome to the Pulling Curls podcast.
Hello, Hillary.
Guys, it's scary to have your mom on your podcast. I'm trying to decide which is worse, having Connor on or you. These are rough. Hard choices.
I think Connor.
Okay. He's a little bit more of a wild card. True. Yeah. I probably have messed up his life more than I've messed up yours. Well, hard to say.
Yeah.
You made the choice, though, to have me. All right. So the reason I wanted to have my mom on is I think we think things, as I have a kid who goes to college again next year, second kid going to college, and you kind of look at him and you're like, great, I have a kid who's never going to learn how to cook or is never going to be able to get up on his own or things like that. And there were certain things, qualities that maybe I had as a child that I grew out of. And I thought it might be fun to have my mom come on and tell me about those qualities so I could realize that there's hope for my kids in their future as well. So
there's always hope.
There's always hope.
Always hope.
Okay, so what's a quality I had as a kid that I don't have anymore?
The one quality that I always talk to people about is that you were so shy.
And no one believes this.
When you were growing up.
No one believes this.
No one ever buys this story. That when we would talk to somebody and it was somebody's mother that you knew very well, you were at their house and other things like that, and you would hide behind me and say, just tell her, Mom. Just tell her what I do. And you wouldn't talk to anyone.
Yeah, I was extremely shy as a kid and well into high school.
Well, I think that by the time you got into junior high, oddly enough, things took a very good change for the better. But by the time you got to high school, you were good.
I was okay. Because I will say that when I started labor and delivery, one of the main complaints is that I wasn't bold enough.
That is hard to believe.
Well, I mean, labor and delivery is a really bold job.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. And probably most new labor and delivery nurses aren't bold enough. But yeah, I'm sure I got less shy working as a nurse because you have to. So
you have to.
Yeah, definitely grew out of that. And I'm so glad you said that because all my friends are like, your mom's just lying. That's too bad that your mom would lie to you like that.
Your mother doesn't usually lie. That's certainly not about that one.
And not on a podcast. Nobody lies on podcasts.
No.
Okay, what's another quality that I grew out of?
When you were little, we couldn't find your floor. Now, that didn't mean you didn't have one. It was just that there was so much stuff on your floor that we couldn't find it. Your clothes, your toys, and we tried to give you more shelves and give you more stuff to put it in. And yet they were all over the floor. And then I think it was probably when you moved to college, the dorms don't have a lot of space for throwing on the floor. So I think you started to clean up then. And now here you are, little misorganization.
I know. I was just at your house organizing last week.
That's right.
Did you ever think that would happen? That someday I would be the one?
Yes.
You did?
Because
Even when 13-year-old Hillary was just like, whatever, mom.
I too was very messy, but I was messy because I knew my mother would clean it up. You were messy. I don't know why you were messy, but I know that I was messy because of that.
I'm sure that some of it was being rebellious. But I mean, if you have to pick the ways that your kid's going to rebel, that's a pretty great. I would pick that one for sure.
That's good to know.
I mean, the main question is, are they going to just be lost the whole rest of their life, right? Are they never going to be able to find their car keys? Are they, those type of things?
I always thought you would because I had done that.
Oh, maybe it's genetic because Paige's room is a disaster.
Okay, it's a thing I got handed down. Sorry about that, Paige.
Yeah, but I don't clean it up. You never cleaned up my room. And then I do think also I had less stuff because you go to college and you really simplify like the 10 outfits you need because that's all you can fit in your...
That's all you can fit in that tiny closet.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think simplifying probably helped too. Yeah. I think maybe I got super overwhelmed because I think that's my daughter's issue is that she just the idea of even starting is really overwhelming to her.
The idea of starting is overwhelming.
Yeah. Especially the littler you are. So life goes on. Okay. Any other quality I had as a kid that I don't have now?
You as a child were very moody. And how many times do we remember not really throwing, but knocking over the bar stools because you were upset about something and heading down all the way down the hall to your room?
I mean, to be fair, a lot of times that was about calculus. And I believe that was well-intentioned. It was necessary. I still love to slam a door. Oh, feels so good.
But there was that time that wasn't it your calculus teacher who called the house as we were talking about the class?
No, it was algebra.
Algebra.
He was a good guy. I don't even remember his name, but he was a good guy.
He was a good teacher.
You think I was moodier than other kids? But you had a son and a daughter, so you don't know. Maybe if you'd had another daughter, that's just how all daughters are.
People say that the daughters are more moody. They do say those words.
I don't know where I fall on that. I'm just going to keep my thoughts quiet, I guess. I think they're louder moody. They let you know more moody maybe than the boys. Yeah. So was there anything like...
My experience is that boys sort of get upset at each other and take the ball out and try to, top each other at the basketball court or something like that. Girls don't do that.
Oh, no, they play Smash Brothers. That's what my boys do.
That's what your boys do.
There's never been a battle fought on our basketball court.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there anything you found when I was moving out that you were like, this is going to be a problem for the rest of her life that didn't really come to fruition?
No, I'm sorry on that. I just felt like having a party.
When I moved out?
You had a party. Remember when we talked about this? That I would have a party and you'd have a party. They'd just be different parties.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it should be, right?
And yeah. I was happy you were going. You were happy you were going. And I think it's important that children get to leave home.
Yeah. A lot of people are surprised because our son went to the college in our town, just like I went to the college in our town. And they're like, oh, and he's staying at the dorms. And I'm like, yeah. I could walk home from my dorms. I mean, it would have been a long uphill walk. That wouldn't have been very fun. I think I did walk home once or twice from my apartment. Connor probably could not walk home. I mean, he could.
No.
Like if you want to be a pioneer, but
yeah.
he may be just as close as I was now, but it's so good to have them move out. So yeah, the next one will be moving out too.
I think there's nothing like having that experience of moving out and dealing with all of the things that you get to deal with. And you're still close enough. You don't have to be the adult yet. If things are falling apart, you've got a parent.
You think you're the adult, though. Like you've got it 100% under control until you get in a car accident or something happens. And then, yeah, so there is a definite benefit to that. Okay. Anything else that you thought I was just going to be an abject failure at? Podcasting?
Well, we never imagined podcasting. Let me tell you. I think that you had a lot of, I don't know if you want me to tell this, you had a lot of failures as a little girl in school that shouldn't have been. And by the time you learned how to handle yourself, that helped you in so many ways that when I look back, it has helped you a lot in being the adult that you are.
Yeah, I will say, I've never had any of my kids' teachers say that my kids were just never going to be good at XYZ. And maybe that's because teachers now are smart enough that they just don't say stuff like that. But my third grade teacher said I was never going to be good at math. I wanted to mail her my AP calculus results and just be like, take that, named teacher. Take that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
sometimes, and maybe it was that you got knocked down so many times that you learned how to stand up. I don't know. But when you finished, by the time you graduated high school, I thought you were going to do well.
Did you think that I would run a media empire?
No.
No. Although when I graduated from nursing school, they were like, what is your dream job? And I was like, well, it's not being a nurse. So my dream job was to write on ER.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Still waiting for that call.
Yeah.
I would honestly write for any. So if you have any connection to The Good Doctor or New Amsterdam or The Resident, I would come executive produce for any of those shows if they had a labor episode.
I don't have any connections to any of those shows.
Yeah, maybe some listener does, though.
Maybe some of your listeners do.
Yeah. All right, Mom. Well, you were a great mom. You made it through this one. So good thing I moved so far away.
Well, we made it through, and you produced 3 wonderful children and a good husband, so we're happy.
I did not produce a husband, just so you guys know.
No, but you brought him along.
Yeah, that's true. He's a goodie. He's also the producer of the podcast.
He is the producer, so we don't know.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for coming on, Mom.
You're welcome, and we'll see you later.
Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed that because sometimes when I look at my kids, I just think we are all in big trouble. Like I don't know, maybe I'm the only person that gets this feeling, but you're like, I have one that cooking is not his spiritual gift. And so I'm worried about him being able to feed himself when he leaves my house. And it's helpful to know that there were things that I did when I was younger that I don't do now. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And thanks so much to my mom for coming on. Do not miss. In 2 weeks, I have my dad coming on the podcast because I just thought it would be really fun to have my parents on the podcast. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. And in 1 week, one of my favorite students from the prenatal class for couples is coming on. She had unexpected complications with her pregnancy, so I think you guys can learn a lot from her too. So don't miss those. Thanks so much for joining us on today's episode. We know you have lots of options for your ears, and we are glad that you chose us. We drop episodes weekly, and until next time, we hope you have a tangle-free day.